Do you have any experience with distance learning? If you were in school throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, then you are definitely familiar with it. Today, we will be talking about what distance learning is, how it works, and the pros and cons. I'm Sissy, here with Jotform. Let's get into it. First, let's define distance learning. Distance learning can be described as teachers using the internet to connect with and teach their students in a virtual classroom without actually needing to step into the same space as their students. In the past, distance learning was more commonly used in higher and continuing education to increase access to education with added flexibility. But when the pandemic hit in March of 2020, learning online became the new normal. It was the best alternative to learning in a physical classroom. And now, distance learning has become essential for all people in the education system, including professors, college students, grad students, as well as kids in elementary school, middle school, and high school. The pandemic changed the way we view learning, and now distance learning has become increasingly more common. So, let's talk about the pros and cons of distance learning. For starters, distance learning offers more freedom to students and teachers. It takes less time and money to run a classroom online. It's also easier for students to take digital courses that they might find interesting, as well as attend online training sessions that can advance their careers in a meaningful way. And remote learning is far more accessible than learning in a physical classroom. No matter the student's physical condition, social anxiety, geography, or existing commitments, they all have access to an education through distance learning. But distance learning isn't perfect. Learning from home requires self-discipline in order to stay on track. Teachers have to be more creative with how they build their lesson plan so that they keep their students engaged. Students also miss out on in-person socializing and networking. It takes way more effort to build relationships online than it does in person. And when it comes to distance learning for higher education, not all online programs are credible. This is why you should thoroughly research an institution before enrolling. Ask, is the program accredited? Will you receive a degree that boosts your resume? Has the institution been well reviewed by other students? Look into it closely so that you don't waste time or money. But how does distance learning work? There are several different types of distance learning that work differently for everyone. First, there's the most common type of distance learning, known as synchronous learning. This is where everyone attends a live-streamed virtual class at the same time. These classes are similar to webinars, and students from anywhere in the world can share an educational experience as the classroom moves through a defined curriculum together, even though they are physically apart. Synchronous classes are most similar to in-person classes as they encourage students to network and form study groups outside of class time. Then there is asynchronous distance learning. This means that assignments are digitally delivered to students who study on their own to complete tasks by specific deadlines. This type of distance learning often requires more self-discipline, as you have to complete the tasks on your own without guidance from your teacher. There is also open schedule distance learning. This is a type of asynchronous learning where the milestones are fixed, but deadlines are not. This type of learning works best for parents and full-time workers who are trying to build their expertise while also raising children and working at the same time. And lastly, hybrid learning combines elements of all forms of distance learning that were mentioned. It allows for students to have set schedules for courses that require access to an instructor, as well as self-directed learning for other lessons. The biggest benefit to distance learning is that it can be changed and altered to fit the different needs and situations of students. It's extremely versatile and maximizes opportunities for connections between students and teachers. Okay, let's review. Distance learning is when teachers and students connect through the internet to teach and learn. While it's not perfect, it does offer students the opportunity to learn from anywhere, and it can be adopted into several different learning options, like synchronous, asynchronous, open schedule, and hybrid learning. Distance learning has changed the way we learn, as it allows for students and teachers to continue working and learning in uncertain situations. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm Sissy here with Jotform. Have a good one.